Today, I'm in the spotlight as a filmmaker and changemaker. But I'm standing here not because I have all the answers. I am standing here because I disrupt. That's right. I disrupt by asking the most uncomfortable questions. Questions that hold up a mirror to our society, and answers that many of us are scared to hear. So today, I am not going to give you a talk. I'm going to take you on a journey. My journey as a change maker, because this is not a title. This is a path that you walk, and a path that is carved out of a lot of resistance. Many, many, many years ago, I was just like all of you. I wanted it all. I wanted a career that I love. I wanted success. I wanted recognition. After I graduated in film and journalism, I landed my dream job as a business reporter on CNBC. And between the deadlines and the headlines, I was pretty caught up. But as we all know, the headlines is not the full story. It is during this period my lens shifted. I almost felt this is the first time that my eyes opened. And I began to see things in the world that I could not unsee. I saw injustices. I saw violence. I saw silence of those who had to be heard the most. And it is that silence that was deafening. The year is 2012. A 21-year-old medical intern who had just gone for the movies and was returning home was brutally gang raped by 6 men in a moving bus. The rape turned so horrific that the rapist inserted a rusted rod inside her and pulled it out with so much force that her intestines spilled out. Yes, that is a very hard reality to grasp. Our country broke out into a revolution of sorts, and I was part of it. And I say this again and again and again. I stood there as a very proud daughter of India because I truly believe that there was no other country in the world that reacted to a gender crime the way India did. But I was also left asking many questions. Please, can we show 2 minutes of the trailer of my film, Daughters of Mother India? It is actually a cry of my conscience. Please.
How can an ordinary bus ride home go so horribly wrong?
It's quite clear that when 4 or 5 people settle on one woman and rape her, then they don't see the woman as a person.
Sexual violence is real. Bakshi ka ghar kahan hai? And it does not only happen in the streets, it can happen at home, it can happen just anywhere.
72 hours after that brutal rape of a student in Delhi.
It was a case which could have happened to any normal Delhi girl. Enough is enough. We can't take this victimization anymore.
When you talk about rape, in Hindi they say, Izzat lut gayi. Izzat is like, you've lost your honor.
She's first raped, then she has to tell the whole story before the policeman, then she has to tell the whole story before the judge. She's raped over and over again in a way.
Crime against women has traditionally received low priority amongst the police and unfortunately in the judiciary as well.
I am searching for answers to so many questions.
जो इतने छोटे छोटे बच्चों के साथ इस तरह की जो घटनाएं हो रही हैं, वो ये हमारी पाशविकता को ही दिखा रहा है कि हम समाज में मानव कहलाने के लायक नहीं।
The same Delhi, same people, but now the cases are more. What does it mean?
प्रॉब्लम बड़ी है। 4005 साल से जो सोसाइटी बनी हुई है वो एक दिन में नहीं बदलने जा रही।
कोई भी बदलाव एक दिन में नहीं आता। It takes time to change.
1947 में जो फ्रीडम मिली थी, सिर्फ मर्दों को नहीं मिली थी, वो औरतों को मिली थी।
What happened to our fight for justice? Did anything change after all those protests in our country?
What happened to our fight for justice? Well, I zeroed in on the police because unless the police is not gender sensitized, justice will not only be delayed, it shall be denied. But as it is anywhere in the world, the police is the hardest to reach. And that's why I tell you all, as a change maker, when purpose fuels your mission, you are unstoppable. We got the police. And we were the first team to gain access to the Delhi police for the first time in the history of the police. Now, what do you do when you have access of this sort? These are very important decisions to be made. Do I focus on a broken country, or do I attempt to heal a nation? Do I fuel the fire, or do I ignite hope? I went with hope, because without hope, there is no fight that can be won, and this is a fight that we cannot afford to lose. And today, I can proudly share with all of you, Daughters of Mother India went on to screen for 150,000 police officers across India to gender sensitize the force. And we were named the most awarded social campaign in the world. But it is not about the accolades and the recognition. It is about the impact that one can create on the ground. After this, I had more questions. Why is it that gender violence, rape, is a women's issue? Why is it that gender bias, gender inequality is a women's issue? Where are the men in this conversation? And this is what took me to Haryana. Many of you may or may not know, it is notoriously called India's seat of patriarchy. And as a woman, this was one of the toughest films I've done, because I entered a place where the first person, that is the village patriarch who met me, said, "There is no place for women here." That's when I realized I had to win the people in order to get access. I had to change my own lens, which had a bias against them. And that's the only time a conversation can happen. If we have to win this fight, it is very important that men and women create a bold and united force for equality. And that is the mindset that I went to. I had to win the men over. But when I entered, what I found was something that I could not have imagined. I found ordinary men who were doing the extraordinary. I found my gender right heroes. Men who have grown up in India's seat of patriarchy, who were breaking the shackles of patriarchy. I found a farmer who, in an arranged marriage, married a gang rape survivor. And when I asked him, "Why did you do it?" he said, "Why not? The shame is not hers, it's ours." And that's how my documentary film, Sunrise, was born. That is SONRISE. When I went deeper on the ground, I found a village chief who seemed to be the only one who was celebrating the birth of his daughters. Today, he is relentless in his fight for a safer and equal world, not only for his daughters, but for all daughters of India. Only recently, this village chief from the hinterlands of India was featured on the front page of the New York Times. That is the power of change. Yes, the environment while I was filming was hostile. In fact, the rapists who had gang raped the farmer's wife saw me in court, and there were death threats. There were times when it would get dark in the winter, and we had to change our route because I lost cell reception. My priority was to keep the team safe. But at the end of it, when your intent is right, the universe comes together to protect you. The film got released. We won the highest recognition in Indian cinema. But most importantly, the United Nations took the film as part of the global He for She movement across 71 countries. And this is to reiterate, gender violence is not a specific country's issue. It is a global reality. Today, I look at all of you. You are not just the future. You are the force. You have the power to change mindsets, break systems, change societies. You have the power to put a spotlight on a burning issue. And if you succeed, you have sparked a movement. You don't have to be the loudest, and you don't have to be the bravest. What you have to be is relentless. That is what changed me from a filmmaker to a change maker. And that is what is going to change you from just being an ordinary voice in the dark to a light that can illuminate the world. Thank you so much.